Fellas, the African Union has expelled an Israeli observer from the African Union headquarters in Ethiopia. The question is, why do you need an Israeli observer in African matters? And what is the end purpose of this? We're going to find out about that. We're going to go to Burkina Faso, where Burkina Faso has implemented a brand new law to this country. No more fancy, funny, funky hair for children going to school. Abolished. You can no longer bring fake hair and long fancy hair at school. It's over. Is this a move forward or dictatorship? We're going to find out about that. What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. Let me fix my chair. It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much for stopping by. I hope you're clapping. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah, we're always on the move. We're always on the move, fellas. We're always on the move for you. Thank you for stopping by. You know, you loved Jer, okay? This is family. Surely you're my family. I know you don't know who I am, but we're going to be very much family just now. If you want to know about African matters, you're at the right place. Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, we're going to talk about it. Ethiopia, Somalia, you name it, right here. Thank you so much. Please click on the button called subscribe so we can see each other every single day. And also, we can push this further. Okay? I see you from all over the place. Sanibonani, South Africa. Dumelang, South Africa. Jebalekoba, Sebo Nabanyabo, Rwanda, Bite, Shikamo, my brothers from the other side. I see you. Mepacho, good afternoon, Ghanaians. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, we can continue. You know, we can go on and on and on. Okay, all right. Next time we'll have conversation. We're actually going to have lives. We want to start doing lives so we can talk. Let's go on our matters. Okay, so Israeli ambassador to Ethiopia expelled from the African Union headquarters. Crazy stuff. Okay, crazy stuff. So what's happened? We're going to do this very quickly. Simple English for everybody. So what's happened was African leaders were meeting in as they do, in the African Union, discussing African matters. And they noticed the presence of an Israeli citizen in the room. And they decided that they're not going to have this. They asked him to leave the room. Abraham Nengwize is the Israeli envoy. The Israeli ambassador to Ethiopia was expelled from the African Union meeting after several African countries objected to his participation in a session on Rwanda genocide. So the African Union were discussing about Rwandan genocide, and the Israeli national, who's the ambassador, happened to be in the room for some reason. Then the Africans in the room say, no, we can't have you here. Why are you sitting here? This is none of your business. So they say he's an observer from Israel, observing matters of African. And Africans don't want that. So why is there an Israeli observer to the African Union? In 2001, after the establishment of the African Union, observer status was granted to non-member countries from outside Africa, totaling 87 countries. So what was the privilege of an observer? The privilege of observer status includes attending African Union meetings and participating in certain discussion, but it does not grant you the right to vote. Now, who was the first observer to the African Union? The first entity granted observer status was the Palestine Liberation Organization in 1973, which enjoys strong support from most African countries. So Palestine was granted this observer status. Why? Because a lot of Africans sort of like Palestine and also relate to what they're going through, because Africans have gone through colonialism, and what's happening in Palestine, many people perceive it as worse than colonialism. Now, after Palestine was granted status, Israel did whatever they could so they could equally get the same status. In recent years, Israel has sought observer status at the African Union to counter Palestinians' influence and managed to obtain observer status in 2021. So Israel tried for many years to be observer at the African Union in African matters and never worked. But in 2021 was granted that favor. How? The status was granted by the EU Commissioner Chair, Moussa Faki Mahatma. He made a unilateral decision to grant Israel observer status. So this man right here decided, okay, well, I'm going to give Israel. He's been asking for a long time. I'm deciding by myself to let him be. He's going to be an observer into the Africans. And many Africans were against that. They were very angry at this guy. Matter of fact, many negative things have happened to Africans. This guy, while he was still running things, he didn't do nothing. There was a moment where many Africans were being beaten. Sub-Saharan African were beaten up bad in Northern Africa, specifically in Tunisia, where the president said the reason why these Sub-Saharan Africans are coming through Tunisia is because they want to change the demographic of Tunisia. He said black people of Sub-Saharan Africa are coming through Tunisia. They want to make babies so they can change the skin colors of people. And that was something you don't expect from a president. What happened the next day was mayhem. People went to the street looking for black people, beating them up really bad. The police arresting black people and taking them to the desert, dropping them to the desert. And at that specific time, even though there was an uproar, this chairperson, Matma, didn't say a thing to the president of Tunisia. Nothing. But in his all-sole discretion, decided to grant Israel observer status. Okay, come watch our African people talk. We want you to be an observer. So many people do that for whatever reason. Some people think if they do that, they're going to go to paradise because it's written in the Bible. If you do that for it's a lot of confusion, you know what I mean? A lot of confusion. People think, what they read in the Bible, it's exactly what's happening here. So if you do here, you're going to go to paradise. So it's a shortcut, perhaps. Now, this is not the first time, fellas, because right after that, another Israeli ambassador was chased out of a session of the African Union. Africans were talking about their, private matters. And all of a sudden they see somebody in. They're like, who are you? I'm from Israel. What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. Everybody stopped talking. They asked them to leave. They were escorted out of the room. Big time. They refused them to be there. They said, this is an African matter. We don't come and do observing stuff in your matters. You do it by yourself. You don't invite us. Why do you want to be observing our stuff? We're not children. We can run ourselves. Why do you want to be here? Get out. So it was a big problem because then Israel accused South Africa of instigating hatred against them amongst the African nations. And Naledi Pandor was at the forefront, she was bold.
We're saying, as the African Union, we have a duty to uphold our own charter, nothing else.
She spoke very straight. She said, these are African matters. We don't need anybody like that to come into our African matters. We can deal with them ourselves. And obviously, they say she was a hater of the country. She doesn't like to speak. I mean, yeah, you get what it is. The thing is, what you need to notice is the previous time you look at the ambassador of Israel. You see her. Now look at the brand new ambassador. You see the difference? The difference, right? The brand new ambassador is different from the previous one. Or at least the person that tried to be observer. They're different. How? The first one looks white. This one doesn't look white at all. So maybe it's a strategy. If you bring somebody dark in skin color, you won't be noticed. Let's push a black-looking observer. Maybe they won't notice him. What do you think? Now, who is this person? This person's name is Avraham Nevishe. Avraham Neguish is the ambassador. As you can see, yes, fellas, he's got African roots. Neguish was born in the city of Gondar in northern Ethiopia, where he worked as a shepherd. He immigrated to Israel in 1985. A lot of you perhaps don't know this. In Israel, you get some people that look black. A lot of them are Ethiopians, and they believe they are Israelis. So there's a lot of things. Some of them complain of not being treated appropriately. But yeah, in this case, this one of them was selected to go represent Israel in African matters, or to go be an observer. Was this because he looks darker? Does it make it, difficult to notice that, I mean, the room is full of black people. If you're black, they probably won't notice anything. But if you look white, then they're going to ask, who's, you know what I mean? Was this a move or is just by mistake? Let me know how you feel about that. We're going to Burkina Faso. Explosion. Yeah, baby. I like that. We are in Burkina Faso. I know you already like this. You already know what this is about. Beautiful place, lovely people. I've been there before. I'm speaking out of experience. If you've never been to Africa, you want to experience warmth of heart, food, Burkina Faso. You want to go to Burkina, but the heat's going to murder you. The heat, yeah, I don't know about that, but make sure you have ventilator and you have your anyway, beautiful place. So in Burkina Faso, the standardization of hairstyle will apply to students at all school levels. This comes into effect immediately. So school principal and their staff are responsible for strict compliance with the defined hairstyle. Very simple. Burkina Faso want to re-educate the children of Africa. We are tired of people being complex about their own hair. We are tired of people being angry at their own head. We are tired of people hating their own faces. I remember a long time ago, there was a girl I was trying to talk to, and she was like, yeah. Then I saw her face without the hair and the makeup. My brother. I was like, what? No, I shouldn't be talking to you. You should be running after me. I swear to God. I was like, you should be running after me. I'm sorry. You're not in my level. Anyway, sorry. I'm sorry. Let's get back on track. They want to educate the children into becoming free in their mind. Love who you are. Regain your sovereignty. Because Africans spend a lot of money into this nonsense. African Americans spend $1.1 billion a year on fake hair. Yes. And Africans in Africa spend $90 billion. That's a lot of money on hair that can build a community of Africans. It can create industries and many other things. That's bigger than the GDP of Angola, of Tanzania, of Ghana, of Ivory Coast, of Democratic Republic of Congo, of Cameroon, of Uganda, of Zambia, of Mozambique, of Botswana. So you can create a country, maybe 3 of them, with $90 billion GDP. So, obviously, many children are not happy about this.
Moi, je ne peux pas faire une coiffure avec un traçage qui me permet de me présenter dans une cérémonie ou autre. Donc, c'est-à-dire que lorsqu'il y aura une cérémonie et que je serai en période où je dois aller à l'école, je serai obligée de porter des perruques.
Yes, that little girl says, yeah, when she goes to party, it's not going to be nice because then she has to put on makeup or put on fake hair. You can see she's corrupt already. I'm sorry, I'm just being honest with you. She probably has a big sister that's a big fan of corrupt hair. So, yeah. Why does she feel that she needs to put fake hair to feel beautiful? Because somebody taught her that. You need to have fake hair to look beautiful. You cannot fight something you've never been taught about. It's not possible. If that's all you've been taught, you can't fight it. It's the same as parents who are same, you know, a man with another who rise up a child. That child will never know that is wrong. Not at all. Unless they are exposed to something different. So that little girl says, now because my hair is low, I have to put on stuff on my... It's because she learned that. And that's how we refuse our own languages. People love English and French, especially the French-speaking people and the Portuguese. They will bash you because you don't pronounce properly. They will dismiss the beautiful information you have behind your accent because you don't sound like a Frenchman or a Portuguese person. English people do it too. Crazy stuff. Where does it start? It has to start from your look, your hair, your face. And at that stage in your life, you don't need makeup. You don't. You don't need long hair. And number 2, parents are very happy. Listen to this.
C'est une très bonne idée parce que déjà la réussite commence par la discipline. Sur le plan économique aussi, je pense que c'est vraiment louable.
So the good thing here is going to put everybody at the same standard. You know, as much as hair don't play any role in how intelligent a child will be at school, it's good because then the poor people don't feel bad. Like, the poor child doesn't feel left out because a friend brought 120 centimeter long hair from a Filipino woman who's probably dead somewhere. At this stage, everybody has a normal hair. Everybody respect themselves. People focus on studies, not on how you dress up, how she looking, and stuff like that. How do you feel about that? Is this dictatorship or is this true sovereignty? Let me know how you feel about this, fellas. Again, the African Union kicked out this gentleman who is supposedly an observer for Israel in African matters. Do you think they should be in the matters of Africa or not? Burkina Faso again at it. They're pushing things, they're changing the law. No more fake hair, no more. I mean, same as Côte d'Ivoire. Recently, they say no more fake hair for beauty pageants. If you want to be Miss Côte d'Ivoire, you need to be naturally African. Love your hair. Why do you hate your hair? Like, how can you pretend to love the next person if you hate your own hair? I don't understand that. I don't get it. Do you understand why the hate? I mean, it's not possible. God bless.